fellow Toastmasters.
Good morning.
It is an honor to be a Toastmaster. I went to my first Toastmasters meeting 13 years ago. I stayed in the meeting for 7 to 8 months. I was in my early 20s. I was in sales, and I went because I needed to practice being in front of people, practice giving sales presentations. I learned so much. I jumped into doing competitions, and I loved it. But I got so busy with work that I didn't go back until last year. Last year I said, I really want to go back to Toastmasters. I had a little bit of downtime, so I said, well, I'm going to pick 3 or 4 Toastmasters club and try to pick one that suits me best. The first club I went to was the Coastmasters club, which is this club, 1 year ago, a Thursday morning, 7 a.m., flip-flops, jeans, and just a casual t-shirt. I walked in, everyone was friendly, it was on the harbor, we were meeting at the Jolly Roger restaurant at the time at the other end of Dana Point Harbor. It was gorgeous, we got to look at the cliffs and the ocean. Everyone was so friendly. When we walked in, there was an agenda, and I like structure, so I was really excited about that. Everyone went around and they talked about the roles that they were doing, so as a new member, it really helped me to understand what was going on. We moved into the table topics, and that was where I knew that I was pretty good at. I was a good conversationalist. They went into the table topics, and it was about impromptu speaking, and the table topics master would come up here and ask a question, and you had to answer it within 1 or 2 minutes, incorporating the word of the day. Well, I was there to observe that day, and they got through the 5th or 6th person, and then the Toastmaster, a table topics master, says, Michelle, would you like to answer a question? And in an instant I thought, well, of course I would. I like speaking, and that's why I'm here, and I've spoken in front of hundreds of people before, so absolutely. That was my thought. She asked the question, I answered the question, everyone clapped, I sat down and I said, what was that? I had no idea what she asked me, I had no idea what I answered, and right then I knew I needed Toastmasters. We moved into the speeches. Not only did I learn about, I was looking for form of when people were speaking, but I was learning about these really great topics. And I was just interested in all of the topics that the speakers were talking about. Well, at the end of the meeting, I knew that I didn't have to go to the 2nd, 3rd, and 4th club because I had found my club. Thursday mornings at 7 a.m., I couldn't believe the energy that this group had, and I wanted to be a part of it. So I joined Toastmasters, here I am, and I'm learning so much. So today I want to share with you just 2 areas of what I've learned at Toastmasters. The first area is what I didn't know about myself, and the second area is what I've learned from you. So 3 things I've learned about myself. When I gave my first speech, the title was, How Did I Get Here? I went through my speech, and every time I talked about a job, I would say, and how did I get here? How did I get here? Oh, I got this job, and how did I get here? Well, the evaluation I got from Colby was wonderful, great feedback, and he said, your speech was, the title was, How Did I Get Here? But you never told us how you got there. I said, oh, good point. So I learned that I can have a point, but how do I bring it all together? And so I'm learning how to think, not just speak. The second thing is from a really great friend. My voice tends to go like this, and I elevate, and I probably disconnect from the people that I'm wanting to talk to because I'm not conscious of the way that I project myself in my voice. So now I'm more conscious of my voice inflection, and I'm just raising my level of awareness about myself when I'm talking to people just on a friendly manner or in a professional manner. The third thing is that through the process, I'm learning a lot about what's going on in my own heart. When I have to put together speeches or talk impromptu, I have to think in terms of, well, what do I want to talk about? What is important enough for me to spend time to put a speech together on? And through the process, I'm learning about what's going on inside of me. So it's not just about public speaking. There's so much more to it. Now the second thing is, what have I learned from you? Because without you, I wouldn't be learning. So I want to, oftentimes we think things, but we don't get to communicate it. Well, it's important that I take this time to tell you what I'm learning from you. So, Dr. Whalen, Dr. Brad, and Dr. Edmiston, who are not here today, subject matter experts that come in here are professionals that still know that they need to improve, but you also share your subject matters with us, or your subject with us, and I'm so thankful for that. There are 2 women in Toastmasters that exude the word eloquence, and Joan is one of them. When she speaks, I just flow with her. You pull me in. Lisa, Kimson, Brad, Sherry, and Stacy, who are not here today, the new members. I'm so curious to learn more about you because all of you stand up and you have such confidence. You're not new speakers. I want to know more about you. Now, Lisa, although you are a new member, you are my personal friend. And so I've never seen you in this environment. But what I know about you is that you bring meaning to whatever you're talking about, and I really look forward to hearing more. Gary, thank you for your friendship and your transparent heart. Kathleen, you know so much, but the way you simplify it makes me say, how can I do that? I get so overwhelmed with sometimes when I'm trying to make a point. You simplify it, and I learn from you. Dave, we always listen when you talk, but really, it's what you don't say. 19 years ago, 20 years ago, Dave was forced to come to Toastmasters. Now he's still here after 19 years. That really says something. Greg, when you speak, I listen because the topics that you pick are really touching, and you are so sincere that, again, like Joan, you really draw me in. Jenya and Sonia, two people that I think were very nervous to come to Toastmasters. They push their boundaries, and you guys make me look at myself and say, oh, well, if they can push their boundaries, well, then so can I. So I learn from you. Chuck has taught me never judge a book by its cover, unless it is kind, quirky, brilliant, and lovable. Daniel, you are a leader in our group, and what I learned from you, the topics that you pick, and the way that you line your points up, you speak very clearly, and I understand what you're saying, and I receive the message that you are giving, and that's why we're here. Dan Mayayong reminds me that it is okay for me to be weird. And with Dan, I don't feel so alone. And Linda, the quiet way that you always give speaks louder than anything. C-Dub, I often think, maybe my life wouldn't feel like it's going by so quickly if I stopped and gave sincere compliments the way that you do. And Leonard, the way that you live your life inside Toastmasters and outside Toastmasters, the way that you live fearlessly helps me to move into that space without as much fear. I watch you and I observe you. So what is it that you don't know about yourself? Observe and learn from others. Toastmasters. It really is a privilege to be a Toastmaster.